What's going on, everyone? So today we have to talk about Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy Penguins is kind of back up a little bit. So it's up 8% in the last 7 days, but it's still down in the last 10 days. So it's still at a discount if you guys are looking for a discount. But I'm going to talk about what I think is about to happen next year in the price. Anyways, remember, I'm not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice, but let's go straight over this. So the first thing I kind of want to go over is some of the stuff that they've been doing lately. And they've been doing really good marketing. Like, you're seeing Pudgy Penguins everywhere. And they've been doing a lot of work inside of Korea. They've been doing a lot of work out there. So Koreans love Pudgy Penguins. They even have a Pudgy Penguins banner inside of the airport in Seoul, South Korea. So that's pretty big. But yeah, Pudgy Penguins is all over the place. So I think this thing's going to continue to turn heads. I think it's going to continue to grow. It's inevitable at this point. I mean, it's literally all over the place. It's everywhere. So I think that this thing's unstoppable at this point. And I mean, a lot of people in Asia love Pudgy Penguins. You will see it all over Asia. So people love Pudgy Penguins out here. And it's beyond the crypto at this point. It's just the whole thing with the penguin. Like, they just love it. They just love the plush toys. They love all that stuff, right? And it's really big out inside of Asian countries. So that's huge. But I kind of want to go over some of the other stuff, like how other people are seeing it as well. So a lot of other people are also very bullish on it as well. So this person says how PENGU has found its bottom some months ago and now is ready to go. So yeah, I do think that it has found its bottom. I definitely think the bottom was back here. So, that was pretty low. That is about as low as it gets. Anyone that got in down here inside of April when it bottomed because of the whole Trump thing, and you already know what Trump did. He crashed the market. But it came back. All right, the market came back, but we already know, like, that was a huge drop, right? And anyone that got in down there is up huge on their money. And now it's so expensive, but we'll see what'll happen for it in the future here. But yeah, a lot of people are bullish with it. This person said the next target for him is 10 cents and then eventually $1. I think that $1 could be possible. That would put Pudgy Penguins at a 62 billion market cap. And then it'll put it at 88 billion in fully diluted value. I do think that it is possible for Pudgy Penguins to see something like 62 billion inside of market cap. I think it's possible. So $1 is possible from here. So I'm not gonna lie, I own some too, and I'm probably gonna be looking to get in more if we pull back some more. But yeah, we'll see. This person said this is your weekly reminder that $1 is still a magnet. I don't know what they're talking about from this, but okay, so they're saying because that's Doge's market cap from the last cycle, around the same area where Pudgy Penguins could be up there. 10 billion market cap. Yeah, 10 billion would be after that. Okay, so this is just them kind of giving their prediction, saying that it could be the Dogecoin of this cycle. So yeah, I would say when it comes to the Dogecoin of this bull cycle, it's between pump.fun and Pudgy Penguins. Like, one of them is Doge and one of them is Shiba Inu. Like, you got to choose which one is Doge, which one is Shiba Inu. Personally, I feel like I feel like the Doge of this bull run could be pump.fun, and Pudgy Penguins can be like the Shiba Inu of this bull run. But you can tell which one is which just by which one has more market cap. And it's kind of why I chose pump.fun as the one, right? But let's go ahead and pull that up. So pump.fun has a way higher market cap, 2.2 billion, and the fully diluted value is 6.4 billion. So yeah, pump.fun is more like the Doge of this run, and Pudgy Penguins is more like the Shiba Inu. If we're going to use that analogy, they're kind of similar in that respects, in those regards. So yeah, that's what I'm seeing for that. So anyways, let's keep going through here. So we've seen a lot of different people. Some prominent figures have also been talking about it too. And this person's talking about this little wedge pattern. But what they're kind of making their own wedge pattern. If you think about it, like, it broke the pattern right there. Like, you can't just break up the pattern. You got to keep it within the same area. So this should be going through this one right here a little bit. So, like, the way I have it, this is what the following wedge is supposed to look like. and theirs is kind of misconstrued and is kind of like false falsely positioned to show a certain, to show a certain aspect of the charts, right? They're trying to show it being an uptrend, going in an uptrend from here. But like, this is not how the falling wedge should look. The falling wedge should be more shaped like this. And we broke out of the falling wedge very briefly, and then we got rejected. And then you can see here, we came down to that trend line. So that trend line seems to be pretty strong right now. Well, not pretty strong. This is only the second time that we've reached it. So when it hits it a third time, that's when it becomes a strong trend line. Right now, yeah, it's a trend line, but it's not that strong. We only hit it once. So you got to think about that. But yeah, we've been seeing people, and we've even been seeing prominent figures inside the crypto community, like Luke Belmar. He says Pudgy Penguins is undervalued. He said Pudgy Penguins IP, NFTs, and PENGU are all undervalued. They sit at epicenter of crypto, and the community inside it is full of some of the most brilliant and influential people in the world. Pudgy is the second most recognized brand in crypto outside of Bitcoin. Don't fade it. I don't know about that. Second most recognized brand in crypto outside of Bitcoin. I would say Dogecoin is the second most. Well, no, Ethereum. Well, no, I mean, if you want to talk about brands, Bitcoin isn't technically a brand, but if we're using that metric, then technically it's Ethereum. If we're using that metric, but hey, that's just what I'm saying. But yeah, I do think that Pudgy Penguins is pretty popular. Like, you can find it in stores. Like, kids are playing the games. Like, people who don't even know about crypto know about it just because they like the plush toys. So yeah, I do think it has some potential there. Now, a lot of people are still speculating, so everything is speculating here. But let's go ahead and go over what I think is going to come next for Pudgy Penguins. So let's do this. So first thing is first, we are going to look at the chart. So we did just now bounce off of this trend line. So the fact that we bounced off that trend line shows that, this trend line could get stronger. We might come back down to this a similar level on the trend line later in the future. So there could be more pullbacks. Like, let's say we take off now, there's a possibility that we come back to the trend line. I would probably say give or take around this level somewhere in November, and then we have another takeoff and then come back to the trend line, or break the trend line, create a new trend line. Those are always different options. But if we follow this trend line, this is a pretty steep trend line. So if this trend line stays inside of our sights, then with it being such a steep trend line, that means our price increase is going to be drastically higher than it would on a less steeper trend line. Okay, so that is a possibility. Now, this is the daily chart, by the way, and over here on the MACD, you can see some buying pressure coming in for the daily chart for Pudgy Penguins. So that is pretty good. And then we also have the %R trend exhaustion showing the long-term trend kind of in the middle here, and the short-term trend is all the way at the bottom. So we could see some increases in the short-term trend, but the long-term trend, if it continues to pull back like this, the price will pull back some more. Like I mentioned before, there's a possibility that we break this trend line. And also there is a possibility that a not so favorable trend line could be in the making. Like, this is a not so favorable trend line, right? It's a less steeper one. If we pull back to this one, we're looking at a even sharper drop downwards, closer to 2 cents and 1 cent. So there's a possibility that this is the trend line right here, and that the one that we're looking at now is not. Because if this is, that's not going to be too good. But yeah, it's definitely not going to be too good. But we're going into December, and November and December, so we're like Q4 right now. And the importance of this is that personally, look, I think we're nearing the end of this crypto cycle. So let me explain. I think we are nearing the end of this crypto cycle because, like, we're going into almost the fourth year of a bull run. We've been in a bull run in Bitcoin for the longest time. These things typically last 3 to 4 years, right? I don't see us being in a bull run for 5 years straight, but weirder things have happened. But anyways, all of 2023, We've been on a bull run starting 2023. As you can see here, January 1st, 2023. Starting from there, all of 2024, and then we have 2025. That's 3 years right there. 3 years straight. All of 2023, all of 2024, and now all of 2025. So that's 3. Maybe we go into next year, and a little bit of next year we start to pump as well. So yeah, bull run either ends at the end of this year or sometime during the beginning or mid next year. But I don't think that we go through the whole next year inside of bull run. So yeah, I think we're gonna get a really big pullback here inside of Bitcoin. It's only right if Bitcoin pulls back to like 65K. That's the previous high of the last rally. So I think a 65K pullback for Bitcoin is inevitable. So once we like really top out in Bitcoin, that's probably what we're going to end up seeing. Usually it's like a more than a 50% drop. So that's definitely in the making. And also, if you look at previous pullbacks for Bitcoin, we are going to see something similar where Bitcoin pulled back over 75%. If I zoom all the way in, I can get the exact number, but I ain't going to do that. But I can do it just a little bit just so it can be as accurate as possible. All right. I'll do it for you guys. All right. So let's pull it down here and right there. Yeah. So a little bit around, let's say 75%, a 75% drop would constitute that. Now, let's go ahead and see where it would be if, let's say right now was our top, right? Let's say we're topping out. Yeah, we're topped out. Let's say that we are 44%. So what is going to be a 75% pullback? That's probably going to be where our peak is close to. And, you know, things don't always have to follow the previous, what they did the previous time, right? Like it can try to be as close as possible, but it doesn't necessarily have to follow it. Wow. So we're seeing 75%. Yeah. Close to the top of that Fibonacci. So 278K. I don't think we're going to do that this rally. I'm going to be completely honest. I don't think Bitcoin does 278K during this bull run. But if it does, that's going to be absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. I was really shooting for around 150K. That'd be a 50% drop. So it could drop lower than where the previous all-time high was. So I don't know. But anyways, this is pretty much all I got for you all today. I just kind of wanted to go over Bitcoin towards the end of the video, but still, I think Pudgy Penguins is in a good position. You know, it's only a matter of time, and it's really just going to take patience. And it's looking pretty good right now. It's looking pretty good. If it pulls back, you know, I wouldn't be too worried. We're looking at what the next support. If we start pulling back, we got 0.025. So, you know, I think we're in a good position here. But yeah, this is all I got for you all today. Let me know what you guys think about this. Definitely hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Remember, I'm not a financial advisor, and none of this is financial advice. Leave a comment in the comment section. And as always, I'll be back with another video.